We also have something that says vanilla. Straight and tidy, clean and nice sex with as little foreplay as possible. The opposite of kinky, not in any way involved with BD or SM.
Homeland Security.
I don't understand that world, but yeah! That's awesome too! But the thing is, those words got themselves into a criminal complaint. Isn't that stupid? Yes! So, when I read this, I got so pissed off. I have a background in putting together events for things like Make-A-Wish Leukemia Lymphoma Society. I have never done a protest event in my life as an organizer. I got so pissed that I had to. And in doing that, I was so thrilled to see that other people were just as pissed as I was and willing to come out. And people connected me to a bunch of individuals who are sex workers, who know about other things that have been happening. Something that shocked me. When Rentboy happened, I got pissed because it's part of my gay community. I didn't realize, I did not register when Backpage or my Red Book got busted, what that did to sex workers. I missed that point. So now, what my hope is that while the gay community can jump on this and say, holy shit, this is not right, this is not fair, we can also join the other communities that perhaps because of unintentional ignorance we just didn't know existed as well. So, please, by all means. So with that, I got some speakers for you that I'm really happy to have here, including some who have been involved with that fight for a lot longer than I knew it existed. So we're going to start off with a wonderful friend of mine, Lance Navarro.
Yay!
Sexy man. He has been seen in adult film productions with Raging Stallion, Hot House, Kink.com, and Titan. Ever hear of those names?
Yeah!
Me too. For the past 6 years, he has been he's been doing body and sex work. That's been his passion and his career. He's a talent professional masseur. He could help anyone who feels naughty. Please put your hands together and welcome Lance Navarro. Woo! Come on, let's hear it. What do we want? Freedom. Freedom to do as we please. Freedom to do as we want with our bodies and our money and our time. Let's hear it. Woo!
Awesome, thank you. And first, can we give a really big round of applause for Mark, because he works, he goes to school, he does events for their community all the time, but yet he pulled this shit together in 5 days. 5 days, and look at all of you. Look at everybody that's here. This is fucking amazing. Thank you. Oh my God. So first, so anybody who saw it on Facebook, the name of this event is Labor of Love. I'm going to take this thing off. I'm too fucking tall. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the name of this event is Labor of Love. Obviously, this is Labor Day weekend, so, you know, what more appropriate over Labor Day than to celebrate the world's oldest profession, all right? That's what we're here to do. We're here to say we've been around for so long, and you know what? 101 years ago in San Francisco, it wasn't illegal. It was 101 years ago that the red light abatement laws went into effect. So think on that. Over 100 years. Let's get back to where we were, okay? So I love the name of this event because truly escorting and sex work, or I think of myself as a sex therapist, but it's to each person to define how they see their work and what they want to be called, but we're all in the same boat. Whether we are escorts, whether we are sex therapists, whether we are sacred intimates, whether we are go-go boys, strippers, phone operators, whores, hookers, doesn't matter, hustlers, these are all the terms that we can throw out there and they all mean the same thing and we all believe the same thing. And for me, this is truly a labor of love because I love what I do. This is, you know, for some, this work is a means to an end. You know, for some, it's a way to feed yourself. It's a way to pay rent. It's a way to get through college, you know, maybe a couple years. I hear all the stories. For me, this is my passion. This is my career. And I love what I do, and I feel so blessed that I get to do it. I abide the quote that we are all born to love and that fear is something we learn. And what we're facing right now is a government that's afraid. They're afraid of the power and the beauty of sex. And we are all about the love. And the only way we can fight that fear and that insecurity and that stupidity is with love. So let's just, you know, shine and let the world shine. So, like I said, thank you. So like I said, my approach to sex work, other people's approach to sex work is different, and it doesn't matter because we're all there for people. We're full of compassion, and we're full of appreciation. And I think that is the two lessons that I've learned from my work, is the value of those two things: having compassion for people, the belief that everybody deserves to have love, and that everybody deserves to be touched and to be connected with, and that is transformative. And by doing that, we are all therapists. We all give something that is so beneficial and that helps so much. So I just want to read a quote. This was about this time last year, I had a gentleman contact me. He's in his 70s. He lost his wife just 6 months prior. They've been together for 50 years, and he was ready to finally embrace the man that he always knew that he was, but had never come to terms with. So we first went back and forth for a while, decided that we wanted to spend 4 days together, because as he said it, I don't just want an overnight, I don't want something, I need learning, I need to be taught, I need to be educated, and I need your inspiration. So at the end of that, he wrote me what actually amounted to be about a 4-page review, which I've condensed now. And I should have known, emails he sent me were a page or two long, just, telling me about foods he had available to cook while I was there. So I should have known he'd turn out something. So I've compressed it, though, and I just want to share this because I want you to think, as you hear this, I know I'm speaking to like-minded people, so it's kind of, I'm preaching to the choir here, but for anyone who in any way doubts the incredible validity and value of sex work, I just want you to listen to this and then tell me who the victim was here. The love and caring that came through the door with this remarkable young man was palpable, and it oozed into every room of the house like the fog that floats off the ocean and envelops the landscape. I felt wrapped in his entire being, and our time together was one of excitement, fulfillment, learning, caring, ecstatic passion, bonding, and all-consuming, unconditional love. At times, it was as though I was having an out-of-body experience with Lance, the uniting of two spirits or souls. At times, it was as though he reached inside me with invisible hands and grabbed my soul and caressed it and held it gently and carefully while saying, "It's going to be all right. You are safe with me. I will care for you and release from your bondage of fear and self-deprecation." And I did feel in a safe place. He invaded my soul and welcomed me inside because I trusted him. This is the true value of this special man who is, in actuality, a behavioral therapist. His approach to our encounter was totally holistic, satisfying the body, the mind, and the soul. If you come to him or let him come to you with an open mind, you will undergo healing and release of your spirit like you have never experienced. There are no words to describe it. For me, it was like being released from bondage, from a prison, much of my own making, but also that of society. I cried several times while in his arms, sometimes from the overwhelming feeling of release, having just told him of painful past experiences, and sometimes from unbearable joy that effervesced inside me and overflowed because of what I found in his love, both physical and spiritual. He also knew how to comfort and reassure with only a few words, but mostly with his body and the emanation of love from deep inside himself, which he shared so unselfishly. Still, as I think of what a sweet man he was, it brings a tear to my eye. He's an individual who embodies the quote from Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, right? "For true love is inexhaustible. The more you give, the more you have. And if you go to draw at the true fountainhead, the more water you draw, the more abundant is its flow." Needless to say, I was just as moved and changed and learned from those 4 days as he was. It was absolutely beautiful. So, again, I ask, who's the victim here? I don't think he in any way felt victimized or taken advantage of, and I certainly did not. In fact, none of us are victims. However, we do need protection, because even if somebody can hurt you and you're still not a victim, but we need to be able to, when we are hurt, when we are abused by a client, or I'm fortunate enough, and maybe it's just because I'm 6'3" and 240 pounds, that I've never been abused by a client, but anyone in the sex industry knows that walking out of a room with an envelope of not bills but IOUs hurts. And to not be able to call the police and say, "I just got screwed over," is fucked up. So, we need protection. We're not victims. We don't need to be protected from being victimized, but we do need protection. So I just want to finish this with a wonderful quote that Rentboy oftentimes put at the end of their emails as a tribute to them during their fight, and that's a quote by Steve Martin. Some of you probably have seen it if you're on Rentboy. Oh, I think it's on the back of his shirt. I believe that sex is one of the most beautiful, natural, wholesome things that money can buy. Thank you.